All right, we're live. All right, welcome into the Denver Sports Podcast presented by Breckenridge Brewery. Check out the Avalanche Amber Ale, the beer of the month here at the DNVR Bar.
Yes.
A little different TDSP today, a reimagined the Denver Sports Podcast. We're going to be trying out some different things with this show.
We're doing it.
I'm excited for today, though. I'm Harrison Wynn. That's Andre Simone. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah.
And over there is Mitch Carroll.
Just Mitch.
Just Mitch.
One name now.
Mitch Carroll.
Like Madonna.
I like that.
I said that because in Slack, your name is just Mitch.
Yep, that's right. I keep it simple.
That's like when I called I called K-Max, one of our partnership people, Caitlin, because that's her name, because it's in her Slack.
Right. No, it's okay. I forgive you.
And that was weird.
Yeah, I forgive you.
It happens.
Yeah.
But, we're reimagining TDSP a little bit. I'm going to have more guests on from The Office. I want to have everybody on from The Office. I want to have, obviously, you guys. I want to have, D-line, our graphics people on. I want to have our sales people on.
I love it. Production
I want to have production on. I want to have Ryan Green on. Kale could even come on.
Wow, Ryan Green. Wow.
Yeah.
Could you imagine popping on TDSP and producer Kale's on?
I can. I like Kale as a personality.
That'd be incredible.
But we're going to cover a bunch of different topics. Nuggets Celtics last night. We're going to talk about that. The Broncos making big moves. Russel Wilson obviously gone, but Justin Simmons officially left yesterday. Some other topics as well. We might get to Sydney Sweeney too, as you can see in the rundown.
Wow.
But also office snacks. And to discuss office snacks here at DNVR, a topic that's been discussed a lot behind the scenes, we have the guy who purchases the office snacks, Andre, here with us today.
Yeah, I mean, who's discussing these things? No one gives me feedback,
Oh, I've given you a lot of feedback.
All I hear, this is what I hear, is that PHNX has so many snacks and people make me feel so bad about it.
Yeah.
And then I get the feeling that people think I'm getting unhealthy snacks. That I'm mostly loading up on carb-heavy snacks, which I understand.
Well, I guess we can just start here.
Let's start here. I have so many things to say about it.
So I don't know what PHNX has. Our friends down in Phoenix. I don't know what they have.
They have Circle K. I've been there. I've been live in the PHNX studios.
We have Circle
Yeah,
K
we have
too.
Circle
Well, no,
K
but they have it's continuously stocked. It's in the kitchen. It's not on set. It's up for grabs. All the chips, nuts, all the good little just quick munchie snacks.
Well, so for people who don't know, we have a lot of people that work at DNVR. We have all the on-camera talent, obviously, but then tons of sales, finance, marketing, partnerships.
Yeah.
Our CEO, Brandon Spano's upstairs as well.
Right.
A lot
All
of
the
mouths to
graphics
feed at this
people.
company. And Andre's in charge of the snacks. The only reason I brought this up is I'm just curious about your philosophy and line of thinking when it comes to determining what snacks you buy for DNVR.
Yeah.
Should we just list out some of them?
Sure. I always try to get a little breakfast snack.
Okay.
That's like the you like those, the Madeleines.
The Madeleines,
Those are
it's
very
the best
good.
thing you get.
Those are very good. I try to go the healthier option, so that's fruit leathers, fruit snacks, debatable whether those are healthy or not.
Qualify that as healthy.
Only if you get the weird organic ones.
And this is
Welch's
where
fruit snacks are a goated snack. Though.
Correct.
this is where I make the ultimate sacrifice because, you know, I grew up in Italy, so beef jerky not really a thing.
Yes, we are always or usually stocked with beef jerky.
Yeah, so that's for the like no carb crowd. I get jerked up, as I call it.
Okay.
And then we'll mix it up. You know, Costco's often where I go, so they might have some specialty snacks, a little toffee, a little salted something or other. I gotta load up on chips. That's where I'm doing most of my snack
Right.
is the chips.
We usually have like 3 drawers full of chips.
Can we talk about the
That's
chips?
right. Please.
I know Harrison likes these, but I think he's the only one. At the bottom of this drawer, always the last ones left, there's like 10 Wavy Lays left. Plain
Yeah.
Wavy Lays. That is always the last pick.
I think I'm the only one who eats them.
Wavy Lays and Funyuns aren't. They're not hot.
No. You went away recently from the Flamin' Hot mix pack,
Yeah.
which
I didn't know Mitch was
is
so
a personal
dialed in on
affront to
snacks.
me because those Chester's hot fries are the goated need a snack in the afternoon. And now they're gone, and I'm upset.
I did go away. So, to you, it makes a difference the flaming hot versus the jalapeno.
Jalapeno's fine, but that's a flavor, not a hot. It's not hot. It's a flavor. I
Okay.
need that heat. I like to punish myself with the food. I like spice.
So that's my base layer, Harrison, and then I might add some Rice Krispie bars. I might
Yeah.
add, fill in here and there. But
Gotcha.
those are kind of the bases I try to cover.
Gotcha.
I have one more complaint.
Go ahead.
I like that you got the Costco size pack of gum. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong,
Yeah.
people like gum,
Right.
but the snack cabinet
It smells like it
it
reeks of
is
gum.
just intense gum. Which when you're
Yeah.
like, man, I'm really excited for this savory
What,
snack of
like
potato chips,
wintergreen?
and then
Yeah.
it's just like
It's
wintergreen
true.
right to the face, and
true.
it really throws off the palate beforehand.
I actually agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But great job overall.
What's the feedback around the office?
Well-
What do people think of my snacks?
So
Love to know.
somebody,
Oh, gosh.
I'm not going to say who this was. It was not me. It was not Mitch. It was not Kill.
Sure.
I'm not going to say what beat they're on either.
Okay.
Somebody said that
Oh gosh.
But they are on a beat. That narrows it down.
Right.
they are.
Right.
They
That
are
is a good hit. That's
Yeah.
a great hit. Yeah.
Somebody said that when you go to Costco,
Oh God.
everything that you buy is just in one aisle. Is there any truth to this?
It's got to be true.
There's no way.
Or it has to be at most two because you get the
thing
down and
behind
back.
that is you just go down one aisle and just that's all you do.
With an arm out and just kind of.
Literally, how I went through my snacks is my route through Costco. The jerky and the
You have a
Madeleines
predetermined route.
Yes, they're over here. The chips are by the frozen stuff.
Okay.
You gotta go find the chocolates and Rice Krispies. Those are over in this section. I might have to fill up on toilet paper and paper towels. That's in a whole other section,
Gotcha. Yep. See, I didn't know if this was true. I just thought I'd bring it up because it has been said.
Wow, what disrespect. I can't believe it. The other thing you gotta understand, Costco, odd hours. 10 a.m. is when they open. So I either go on my own time in the weekend or it's a later day.
That is a
and
little late for a grocery store to open.
I've not cut the Costco line at 10 a.m., but I've gotten in the shorter Costco line and been yelled at by a senior citizen for doing so.
Yeah.
He told me that I thought it was okay for me to just cut all these old people because they got nothing better to do. My better judgment was to not argue with him. So
Gotcha.
also, no, I don't get more looks anywhere but Costco. I think a lot of people are staring at me like they maybe recognize me from a podcast or something.
Yeah.
Or there's a lot of I don't know, singles looking to mingle at Costco, and I'm just their type. I don't know.
In the hot dog and pizza line.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is, as a treat for myself, I'll get a dog to top it all off on my way out.
Can I ask you guys a Costco snack question?
Please. Sure.
Snack bar question specifically.
Please.
Where do you guys stand on the chicken bake?
I don't think I've
Basically,
ever had
dough,
the chicken bake.
Chicken, bacon, Caesar dressing, and cheese.
I've never had
Hot.
it. Never had it.
Never had it. Sounds disgusting.
Super producer Kale off mic.
Wow.
Oh, man.
On an
Okay.
island.
So whenever we do this pod again, you guys should do the homework in between and let me know because it's goated.
I
It's so
usually
good.
stick to hot dog and
Pizza. I mean, I get it.
whatever you call the ice cream.
Oh, their ice cream is super good.
Like the raspberry syrup.
R.I.P. the churro.
Churro's gone. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's really disappointing.
No, I know, but I don't know how much of a loss it really was.
All right. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah.
Gosh. Well,
Great overall.
For the record,
solid.
I think you do a good job on the set.
Solid.
thank you, Harrison.
Solid.
for the record, on my behalf, who said that about me, I will find you and hunt you down. So.
Oh my God! All right,
That's it sounds like a buff steak, if I'm being honest.
could have been.
Sounds like a buff
It's
steak.
someone young enough to not know the Costco aisle disposition. That's hint 1.
Could have been.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Just a little bit. Nuggets played the Celtics last
Oh,
night.
yeah. Let's go. Gear me
In
up.
what could be a NBA Finals preview. And it seems like the narrative coming out of that game on Twitter is people asking the question, is Nikola Jokic the best player of all time? Seems like the narrative out there right now.
Wow.
Yes. Short answer, yes.
Doesn't it seem like he's kind of having a moment, Jokic? This happens a lot if he has a big game on national TV because, like, look, a lot of casual fans out there don't watch the Nuggets, don't watch Denver. National TV gives them an opportunity to. Everybody in Boston probably watching Nikola Jokic, for one of the few select times all season.
Right.
It feels like on Twitter last night and today there was a lot of, I can't believe how good this guy is.
I mean,
Have you guys sensed that too?
it's crazy. I've become almost numb to it, but I mean, he really is in that conversation. I do think he's the most consistent basketball player I can ever recall watching, or at least as consistent as the most consistent I can recall watching.
Yeah.
LeBron would be the only other guy.
Right.
He's also clearly entered the best passer of all time conversation. Of those guys on that short list, he is by far the best scorer of the short list best passers of all time in NBA history. He's also probably, that game was a great example of, he's probably the worst double team and the most impossible double team in NBA history.
Okay.
I saw a take last night, and this kind of blew my mind. We was talking about it with super producer Kale, but there was I couldn't tell you which basketball national guy it was, but he said, you can't double Jokic from the blind corner, which, like, that defies pretty much every bit of basketball defenses where you probably should double someone from where they don't see it coming, and he just punishes it every single time, like no one has ever been able to do. I mean, obviously the Reeves highlight where he just, moved his arms away.
He had the same play last night.
Yeah, same play last night, and it's just unguardable, and it doesn't make sense why it's unguardable logically, but it is, and it's amazing that we just get to be on the right side of it.
It's insane. He's also like a basketball algorithm.
Yeah. Did you guys? So the alley-oop he threw to Aaron Gordon that, pretty much sealed the game, made the score 113-109 under 30 seconds to go. It's become the Nuggets' signature go-to play to ice games.
Yep.
And the fact that that
It's
play
incredible.
is just an alley-oop is so awesome. A lot of teams will draw up, a three-point shot or, let's run this guy off a stagger. Let's run elevator doors. Let's run, this backside screen for a shooter. No, the Nuggets just run an alley-oop.
It's insane.
But on this one, a lot of people on Twitter thought it was actually a shot attempt. And that's how you know there were people watching Jokic for the first time last night. Because we know that those are all passes, but people watching him for the first time thought they were shot attempts.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
I mean, it was like a
barely
foot
turned
wide
all
right. Right? Like Jokic with a relatively clean look. I mean, there was hands up, but like with a relatively clean look at the basket isn't going to miss the basket by a foot.
Yeah.
He's just not.
That tells you, though, how unguardable he is.
Yeah.
That's what defenses have to give up, is an alley-oop to a guy who's on the short list of the best dunkers all time in the history of basketball.
Right.
Like, that's how lost you are on defense guarding Nikola Jokic, that you give that up.
Yeah. I asked Peyton Watson about it last night, and he goes, yeah, that play call is just called get the ball to 15. That's the play call.
And P-Watt, oh my God.
We had a lot at stake last night as well. Brennan Vogt on, the Nuggets beat, of course.
Yes.
Noted Celtics hater.
Yep.
He had a nice night at the bar as well.
Incredible.
I gotta think he was a couple drinks in the whole night. It was $5 old fashioned night at the bar.
$5 old-fashioned night, come on.
Oh, God. It was saucy.
Well, he should actually be on this show right now.
He should.
We need him on this show right now.
Call in if you're
we
watching.
do. Right.
Call
Should we
just
call
call
him?
him?
Yeah, call him up.
All right, I'll just call him. Actually.
Yeah. This is gonna be epic. We need to get both thoughts.
To kind of like zoom out like a little bit, like how you kind of mentioned how it's like, is he having a moment? I mean, some of the biggest national pods that talk ball have led with the Nuggets pretty much all week.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's more just like the national pods all kind of have the same rundown.
Yeah, what's up?
Yo, you're live on TDSP right now.
Hey, Bo.
Oh, what's up?
How many $5 old fashions did you have last night at the bar?
Only 3.
Only 3.
Hell
okay.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Is that more or less than we expected?
Less.
Less, for sure
We
less.
probably would have set it at 3.5 and took the over.
All right, cool. I'll tell my mom. All right, that's good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, man.
No problem.
All right, there he is. He had a great
Great
night
for
though.
the brand.
Yeah, he had a great night. Sorry, what were you saying, Mitch?
Well, I was just saying, it, you know, basically the consensus on all those shows, and they all kind of do have the same rundown. Those big national shows, those 2 or 3 times a week NBA shows.
Yeah.
Which is fair because they want to hit the biggest topics. But the Nuggets segment is basically, if they get hurt, maybe they're not going to win the West. But it's basically just comes down to, oh shit, the Nuggets are great. Like the Nuggets are unstoppable, they're unbeatable.
Yeah, it's like people...
And it's kind of end of, right? It's not. There's not much more to say about it.
Yeah, that's true. That has been the narrative more this week as like, oh yeah, the Nuggets in crunch time are a real problem. They might just be the best of the bunch.
It's just great.
I really feel that GOAT stuff is getting traction though today.
I don't know. I just kind of said that because it feels like everybody on Twitter is just in awe about Nikola Jokic right now.
How
after
could you
last
not be?
night. Also, coming out of last night's game, Peyton Watson was ridiculous. It feels like every block he makes is a massive highlight.
Insane.
And we were talking about this upstairs, actually. How many players in the 2022 draft would you take over Peyton Watson?
Paolo for sure. I mean, for sure. Like, I just think arguably you'd take Paolo Banchero because of what he gives you offensively. I think Jalen Williams, definitely.
Thunder, yeah.
You talked me out of Keegan Murray.
I would take Peyton
You would
Watson
take
over
Peyton
Keegan
Wa-
Murray.
For
Which,
sure.
like,
10 times out of 10.
upside-wise, for sure.
Chet. I'd probably still take Chet and his upside.
So I was saying Chet as an asset, sure. But if you could just swap
Right, he
Chet
doesn't
and
fit.
P-Wop
Yeah.
for the rest of the season, knowing you cannot trade either,
No, you're right.
you
You're
probably keep P-Wop.
I
And
still
then
like,
Jaden Ivey, you said forget. No way.
Yeah, he hasn't had a good season.
I think Shaden has pretty high upside, but he's on such a crappy Portland team, has been hurt. It's
Yeah.
kind of hard to see that.
Yeah.
Jabari,
Jabari Smith's
Jabari
he's pretty
Smith.
awesome.
But right now, Peyton
But right
feels
now,
like the
I would
more
take Peyton
impactful
for
guy.
sure.
And what's crazy is Peyton also has a higher upside than just about all these guys we talked about. Sohan, the shooting's such a concern.
Sohan, yeah.
No, I mean, there's no one even late that's like kind of sneaky, like second round guy. There's nobody. I mean, unless you
yeah,
guys are Marjon Beauchamp
There's a lot of
guys.
misses in the 20s. Here.
Tari Eason is
Like
Tari
my
Eason
guy
a
Dalen
conversation?
Terry.
Yeah,
Missed
Dalen.
on that draft
Yeah.
evaluation.
AJ Griffin kind of had a moment for a sec. Jalen Duran also kind of had a moment.
Ochai
but-
Abaji, another miss by me.
Yeah.
Not good. Tari Eason, is that a conversation?
Tari Eason's having a good season, but I would take just Peyton Watson, the type of player he is.
I mean, is he meeting dudes at the rim on dunks and sending them into hell?
No, I mean,
Is he destroying Jason Tatum on multiple occasions in nationally broadcast games?
no, and there's probably playoff matchups where he's getting played out of the rotation. You're not going to say that about Peyton Watson.
Yeah.
And I
You're
mean,
just
his
not.
upside is so huge, and that's what's different about Denver this year. I feel like AG and MPJ have just kind of found another gear, and then you add guys like P-Watt, CB in year 2. KCP's obviously still a beast.
Right.
What they bring on the wings is just crazy. Like, you know, a couple of years ago when the Nuggets were still losing playoff series, that's where they had the advantage with Jokic, but then a disadvantage on the wing. How many teams are really going to have an obvious advantage over the Nuggets on the wing?
The Nuggets went from having 0 wings, it felt like, to having a surplus of
To
them.
being stacked, yes.
And, I mean,
Because then his 2022 draft mate, Christian Brown, is
Right.
in that rotation too.
yeah.
I mean, they're basically, it's crazy that he is 2 years ago he was averaging 3 points a game at UCLA.
It's insane.
And now he's a lock in the 7 to 8 man rotation on the best team in the West.
Well,
it's insane.
And it feels like he's getting better every game.
It's
so.
insane.
And you have this Nuggets team with so much skill and IQ that now have 2 of the best athletes in the entire association. And I mean, that really bared out last night.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, let's hit a break. A lot more topics to get to on the other side, including Justin Simmons leaving Denver.
Oh boy.
Peyton Manning wants Bill Belichick to join Omaha Productions with Nick Saban.
Wow.
That sounds like a Mad Lib. Also, Sydney Sweeney? Question mark?
Yes.
What?
The answer is yes.
We'll get to all that on the other side. At Bet365, guys, we don't do ordinary. We believe every sport should be epic. Right now, new customers can choose between 2 offers when they open an account at Bet365. Use the code DNVR365 to sign up, deposit $10, and choose between either a bet and get offer, place a bet of $5 or more, get $150 in bonus bets, or a first bet safety net offer, place a bet up to $1,000, and if your qualifying bet loses, you receive a matched refund in bonus bets. One of the group chats I'm in could not believe that the Nuggets were underdogs last night against the Celtics. And they were right to believe so. But that's crazy. The Nuggets were underdogs against the Celtics last night.
Yeah, they were 2-point dogs.
But I think it got down to 1 or 0.5 by the time the game started.
Insane.
Yeah, public perception can drive those, you know.
It's insane.
The mighty Celtics, man. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Also, check out Factor Meal Kits if you're like us and have no free time to cook. Factor Meal Kits are awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You can go to their website, factormeals.com/DNVR50. Choose what you want. It tastes like a gourmet meal. Factor Meal Kits do not taste like your classic freezer, frozen meal. They taste great. They taste like a home-cooked meal or something you get at a restaurant. 2 minutes, pop it in the microwave. Perfect for people that are really busy throughout their day. So factormeals.com/DNVR50, factormeals.com/DNVR50. Get 50% off your order right there.
Beautiful.
All right, back here on the Denver Sports Podcast, presented by Breckenridge Brewery. We knew there were probably some moves coming from the Broncos after they had to eat an NFL record. What was it? $85 million in dead cap money.
Insane.
Yeah.
$240 million extension. Never plays a snap.
When they waived Russell Wilson,
Insane.
the first big casualty was Justin Simmons.
Yeah.
This one hurts.
It does, man. It really does. I mean, poor Justin Simmons, a great Bronco, but in this stretch of Bronco history where team success isn't really there, of the different athletes we've collaborated with, I can tell you Justin was such a pleasure to work with when we launched that shirt. Like one of the coolest guys. You had to remind him that we owed him payment, that kind of dude, he'd buy the shirts on his own, not ask you to send him shirts, even though we were collabing.
I sent a bunch of shirts.
His family.
He has so much DNVR gear, it's crazy.
How quick was he getting the invoice back when you sent it to him?
He was a legend, man.
So pretty quick.
So good to work with. And it's a weird time because not just he got cut, the Bills' top safety, 2 of the highest paid safeties in Poyer, also gets cut. The kind of market at that position gets reset. A deep safety, not exactly where you'd kind of put most of your cap to rebuild a team.
Yeah.
So I get it from that standpoint. One of those guys you'll definitely be rooting for at their next stop. But it sucks, man. It sucks.
What do you think, Mitch?
Maybe this is just me getting older, or maybe it's just a product of 8 years of bad Broncos football. As much as I like Simmons and I liked working with him, and I think he is a great example of what a Bronco should be.
Burn it to the ground.
To me, I can't get too upset about losing any player on a football team. There's too many. You're talking about 40-something active on game day, right? There's so many guys involved that, yes, it sucks to lose that person, but to me, the way the NFL just morphs and shifts rosters so quickly, and guys get bought out or cut or can sign on a minimum out of nowhere. It's tough for me from the just pure football side to be too worried about it. As the fan of him as a person, it's a bummer to not have him in this community. It's tough to not have him stepping up after bad losses and taking the media, shouldering the media responsibilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, that is a big bummer. Football-wise, it's just been too bad for 8 years that it's like, if that's what it takes for us to turn that around and get better, I'm kind of all for it.
Yeah, I think you guys are right. It sucks on a personal level because Justin Simmons was like Mr. Bronco probably. If you had
for
to
sure, absolutely
assign somebody that title, he actually liked being here. He loved playing for this team. It's the only team he's played for, and he was good. He was a good player too. But I am with you guys, or with you, Mission, saying that this is what you have to expect.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. And with how this team has performed and the talent they have, you can't be that upset about anybody that leaves. You really can't.
You just hope you get through this year without any, big injuries to the players you like, and hope you're in a position next draft, kind of once the worst hit of this dead cap is done, and you kind of hope you're in a good enough position to get through that and be ready to build in a year or two.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes might be retired by then.
That's true.
That's something to look forward to.
Maybe every good quarterback in the league is in the AFC, and maybe they won't be by then. Who knows?
Honestly, though, add this to the casualties of that terrible Russell Wilson trade and that terrible Russell Wilson contract.
Yeah.
Like, that's why that trade and contract is so awful, is that it now extends to you having to cut Justin Simmons and get nothing for it. Not even a compensatory pick, just zilch. And I expect more to come.
Yeah.
And, they're going to have to get worse. As bad as it's been, they got to get worse than that before they can get better. And you just hope it's a fresh start, build it under Sean Payton's identity, and see what you can have in a couple years.
So I've seen a lot of people very mad online about the fact that George Payton still has a job.
Too many Paytons.
Yeah.
Whoever they hire for their next GM, please don't make it a Payton.
Oh, man.
I have my take on this. I want to hear your guys' take on why George Payton has not been fired yet, if you have.
I think I'm not going to say he got fired. He got demoted when Payton came to town.
Yep.
Right? And so you do have to respect his resume as a building up a scouting department and finding good people to supplement that scouting department. Yep. And I think that's why he's still employed. Because I don't think he now has to make sure it's okay with Sean. And so that's why he's still there.
I think Sean Payton just has the perfect guy to do all the busy work now.
Correct. That's my take, at least.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
He basically got downgraded to assistant GM while holding his GM title.
Which,
But boy,
would you
that's
want to
a tough
leave that? You get your paycheck, you get your...
You probably get the same amount of money, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's almost
He
exactly...
didn't take a pay cut.
Right. It's almost exactly Vance Joseph coming back to the Broncos as the defensive coordinator.
Right.
In some ways, it's that same exact move. It's nuts.
Right. You're the QB expert. I asked you about quarterbacks in the draft on TDSP a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
Who's your guy right now? Because I was just reading earlier that J.J. McCarthy might go top 10.
Yeah, the J.J. McCarthy hype is really crazy. Kind of classic NBA, NFL. It's almost verging into NBA style, dreaming on a guy, selling yourself on, who's the guy who went to the French guy who went top 5 to Washington in the NBA draft? It's a Koulibaly type rise J.J. McCarthy's having right now.
Yeah.
What a poem.
I like J.J. McCarthy. I do. I think Denver would be a really tough situation for him to come into. Broncos fans would really have to be patient with him. And I just wonder if any rookie quarterback is the right move to be brought into this situation where you're in cap hell, where your roster's just going to be weakened because you're having to kind of trade away or cut all your best players. I'd almost wait a year before you go in on that rookie contract for a quarterback. Because right now you're almost nullifying so many of the advantages that come with having a rookie quarterback, you know?
Right. So you want to wait a year and tank for Shedeur Sanders?
Endure for Shedeur is what I say.
Wow.
Yes.
I was waiting for that. I was trying to figure out what that
Trademark
rhyme was.
that.
Hopefully that's the first that's being said in public. I've been slow floating it at the
for
office.
Sanders?
Right.
Get sacked for Sanders?
Slanders.
Oh, man.
No, not there. Tried slander for
Suck
Sanders.
for
Didn't work.
Shedeur? Suck for Sanders?
Look, I mean,
for
I know
Shedeur, I'm
super
telling
producer
you guys.
Kale caught some heat for saying that they were going to tank for Shedeur in 2 years. But to me, it's
Kale
like,
low-key starts a lot of Twitter beefs
Dude,
out there.
Kale?
he likes to mix it up a little bit.
Kale low-key started the last round, or not the last round, the second to last round of Carmelo Denver.
Attaboy. You know what I say?
The
Mix it up
Carmelo
more.
Denver
Yeah.
feud was ignited by Kale
He
a couple
literally,
months ago.
It's a great brand. It's a
during
great
the
brand.
Lakers watch parties, he had to be at the door telling Lakers fans why they were being banned from the bar. Kale brings on some unnecessary. I won't even get to some of the other smoke he's gotten us into with maybe former Olympians. You know,
That deserves
I
its own.
forgot about
Kale
that.
We need to
Kale
find the
brings
exact
it.
anniversary date of that and just run that pod.
we love and stand by him.
Can we tell that story?
absolutely have to run that back to super producer
Kale, are you cool if we tell that story?
Oh God!
You guys can tell that.
What a great way
Oh.
to inaugurate the new TDSP is telling that story. Do
Okay.
it, yeah.
So-
send it, Harrison.
All time.
This is so
I don't
great.
even know
Let's
if I really remember it.
I gotta buckle up for this.
Yeah,
one.
are we ready
Okay,
for this?
I'm ready to
smoke?
go.
Kale can take the smoke. Can we, Harrison?
I had to put the buckle on.
We were doing what was it called when we were doing?
Greatest,
Top of the
greatest athletes all time, and we had to go non-major for greatest athletes.
Right.
We did a little, because representation, Matt, we wanted to be
Correct.
there, you know?
Right. And so Kale, the
Kale's
skier
our expert,
that he is,
yeah.
avid skier, is on a podcast talking about the best skiers
They're applauding Kale's take right now.
ever. And he was under the belief that Michaela Schifrin was the greatest skier of all time.
Yep.
She is.
Yep.
Correct take. Good job, Kale.
I was just like 5 years early.
In the years since that take, Michaela has only confirmed that Kale
Yeah,
was
it
has
absolutely
aged
correct.
You were
So
right.
well,
You were
dude.
right.
Yeah.
But
It has
what
aged so
happened
well.
was Lindsey Vonn,
Yes.
who also in the conversation for best skier of all time,
Yep.
somehow got wind of this podcast and slid in our DMs because of what Kale said.
She said, please put some respect on my name, basically.
And she was pissed.
The thing that really got to her was Kale said her career will be defined by 3 letters. Was it like DNP or something?
DNF.
DNF. Did not
did
finish.
not
And
finish.
I just have to say, Kale, that's a banger of a line.
Bar. That's a
That is a straight
Look.
bar.
In an age of takes, it was quite the take. It
That's a straight bar.
was
Wow.
great.
So, yeah.
He's a legend.
Wow.
Living
That
legend.
was a fun moment in DNVR
man.
history.
So, yeah,
but
Kale
the
brings
moral
the
of the
heat.
story is, Kale starts a lot of beefs.
So,
a lot
quarterback
of beat.
speaking,
Which I just want to say, Shedeur Sanders, to me, if he was in this class, he wouldn't rank as high as Caleb Williams. I think I'd have Drake May slightly higher.
I have no interest
And then
in
he'd
Drake
be in
May.
that conversation with Jaden Daniels as the third best, and most years as the best.
I think in a year where you need a quarterback, being in a draft position to get the 4th or 5th quarterback is not good. You don't want to have to talk yourself into the 4th or 5th best quarterback in a draft being your franchise quarterback. I think it's the worst possible spot to be in. So either trade up to get one of those better guys, or you wait and hope you're bad enough to be in the position next year.
Some years that third or fourth guy is Josh Allen,
Patrick
Lamar
Mahomes,
Jackson,
totally. No,
Patrick
I get
Mahomes,
it. I get it.
so.
But is J.J. McCarthy or Penix that level of quarterback?
Probably not.
Probably not, right?
Probably
So
not.
why not just get the best safety or the best defensive
Right.
tackle or the best right guard, or maybe not right
Or
guard, but
trade
you know what I'm
down,
saying? Like
add
get the best
more
of someone
picks,
else. Yes.
And just
Correct.
put a decent offensive line and defense around
Correct.
a Shedeur Sanders in a year.
Oh
Yeah.
God, please. the brand would be so strong
Oh,
for all
honestly,
of us.
right?
Please.
I mean, the brand would
That'd be huge for
Should we say
DNVR.
the
That'd be
Broncos?
Please.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's my only quarterback take. Either
I
get
think
one of the
it's a good
best
take.
or don't.
All right,
At all.
let's hit another break. Some final topics to wrap up with, including could Bill Belichick be on the Manning cast, and Sydney Sweeney talk as well.
Wow.
Let's go, dude.
What
Guys, there are so many great benefits to becoming a DNVR diehard member.
Come on.
First of all, this bar that we're in, you get a discount on your tab, 20%, I believe, for being a DNVR diehard member.
Correct.
Doesn't get better.
You also
Yeah.
get 20% off all events, 20% off all merch. You get a free shirt or hat from the locker when you join each year at
Bang.
renewal as well. Access to all our diehard level content
Incredible.
on the DNVR.com. So tons and tons of benefits. You can go to the DNVR.com to sign up. $7 a month. Join the best sports fans in the city.
We're on fire right now. We're going to be on fire for like 4 or 5 months. Broncos making moves, Avs making moves, Nuggets, golden era time, mid season starting, Rams and Buffs and conference tourneys for hoops, Rockies season starting. We've got you covered. It is so amazing, all the content we pump out. Support the NVR, man. Become a diehard today.
Let me send you a diehard box. As a member, you get
Do
a
it.
box with a diehard card and exclusive sticker pack. It's like, it just looks so good when you either order a hat or like, there are just a few shirts that somehow the logo is perfect when you open that box and you see D-Line's magic right in
Yeah.
there. It just looks so
Beautiful
good. So
thing.
please sign up. Let me send you that.
Yeah.
Please.
If you guys don't know, Mitch, one of the many things he does here is he mails out
Merchel.
all our merch.
Yep.
And
I'm gonna go do it right after
I
this
actually
podcast.
heard I heard today that you mailed somebody's merch to
To the,
the bar.
office.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of
That's
people
lit.
that work for this company. Sometimes you're just grinding out merch.
That's
and
lit.
someone who I could have walked it to upstairs instead went all the way out to the Golden Post office,
Yep.
out to the distribution center, and back here.
Yeah.
It happens.
You
I don't know what to say.
To the DNVR bar from
So
the
good.
DNVR bar.
So good.
We don't always bat 1,000. It got here. It was delivered to the right person eventually.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Also,
deadline
shout out
on
to Breckenridge Brewery, the presenting sponsor of
Right,
TDSP.
brew.
Breckenridge Brewery is the official craft beer of DNVR. They got a beer for any occasion. Try out some of our favorites: the Avalanche Amber, the Mile High City, the Broncos Country Pale Ale, the Funslinger, the Good Company Hard Seltzers as well. You can check out their beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a Breck Brew near you.
Do it.
All right, we're back here on the Denver Sports Podcast. Couple
Let's
more
go.
topics that I want to finish up with here.
Vroom.
I saw an article that Peyton Manning reportedly wants Bill Belichick to join Omaha Productions with Nick
Incredible.
Saban for a new Manning cast. Are you guys interested in this at all?
100%. Bill Belichick, outside of the press conference,
It's
is
incredible.
so good doing media
Yeah.
stuff. If you watch the Army-Navy game this year, he was on the panel sideline set.
Yeah.
He was great. When he does
Wait,
those,
so does he get excited?
he's
Or
just
is he just
so
like,
smart, and he drops the
long snapper?
he drops like the can't
special
talk
teams.
about that on this. He drops that. When you get him like thinking about football and not a specific situation,
He loves ball.
it was one of those historic ones where like they brought him on in a NFL films thing to talk about like the triple option in like the 40s in the NFL or 50s, whatever it was.
He
And all of a
probably
sudden he's
talked
just
he probably
yeah,
talked that guy's
he's
ear off
so
on
good.
that.
So pair him with Manning, I'm in 100%. 100%.
Well, in interviews where he's asked about like the history of the game or stuff like that, he would give really insightful answers. I just wonder what topics they pick.
Well, like the triple option.
I mean, that
Don't
sounds
put him
incredible.
on. Don't put him on the Monday night cast with the Manning Bros. That wouldn't work.
Right. Don't have
You need content that's like produced content, not live content.
don't recap Celtics Nuggets with Belichick on Friday morning.
I gotta say, man, I'm not a Manning cast guy.
I love
Yeah, I kind of think it's bad too.
I want a traditional like play-by-play
Yep.
thing.
I'm with you, man.
I think that if they had a better booth, I guess they do now with Aikman and
Yeah.
Buck. But the year before,
You're
when it
buck.
was like Booger and
Oh.
whoever the hell else, give me Manning talking about nothing all day.
Yeah, I just need a little
it's not
traditional
good.
play-by-play.
I agree.
Caitlin Clark, might have heard of her. Her final regular season game was the most watched women's game in 25 years.
That's incredible. It was also a perfect, like she could break the record. They're playing
Yeah.
against number 2 Ohio State. But yeah, I mean, she's box office, man.
I was thinking about this earlier, and I was trying to go through the NBA stars that I would rather watch over Caitlin Clark.
Ooh, fantastic.
And it's like, would I rather watch Jason Tatum or Caitlin Clark? Probably Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark, for sure.
100. She is appointment viewing.
Joel Embiid rolling on the floor or Caitlin Clark?
Would you rather watch, let's see, I don't know, Anthony Edwards had that great block last
Yeah.
night. I'd probably take Edwards.
Ant's pretty hype, yes.
Kyrie Irving or Caitlin Clark?
Caitlin
That's
Clark.
Caitlin Clark for me.
yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
John Morant, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
That's Caitlin Clark for me.
Prime Jaw last year, pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's a
It's like,
conversation.
to me, it's like watching
Conversation.
Steph. Like, you just, how is, you know it's coming, but how? Right?
Yeah.
Like, what is the backbreaking three? Which logo is it coming from? You know, which behind the back or no look pass to set up a wide open teammate? Like, it's coming. And so, like, to me, it's inevitable. It's like watching Steph. Like, it's just someone that you're not going to have a bad time watching that game ever.
Right.
No, her style of play is incredible. Also, I mean, you know, college hoops is on the women's side is unbelievable and has had several moments. I remember the rankings for the Final Four, maybe last year or the year prior, were record breakers too. Like, the product's really incredible, and you love seeing stars like this, and you love seeing more and more people tuning in.
I'm all in on Caitlin Clark. Last topic here. Jake Paul's fighting Mike Tyson in a boxing match. Are you guys into this at all?
I've
Just
never watched
terrible.
1 second of the Paul boxing experience, and I don't plan to.
I'm a Tyson
Until
guy.
it's
Mike
real.
Tyson's in his 50s, I think.
60s,
Until it's a
I think.
real-
60s?
60s. I think he
Bro,
might have
You
just
just
turned
have seen
60.
him get these results against fighters that you know are so much better than him. You see guys hold back from a knockout until it's like a real fight where someone can actually put a beating on him that they're not getting paid to draw or lose.
Yeah.
I'm not interested at all.
You're out.
At all.
I hate they got Tyson, but this is part of the appeal. Is I would love nothing more than to see Mike Tyson just like unleash a combo for like 2 seconds, look like prime Mike Tyson, and just knock him out. That's why everyone's gonna tune in. It's gonna do record numbers, and it's not gonna happen. He'll remain undefeated and drag this whole charade out.
So
until
you're
it's like
guaranteeing
Floyd
a Jake
Mayweather.
Paul win?
Yeah,
Yes!
basically.
Because he
It's
pays
basically-
for it.
It's basically WWE
I hate
wrestling.
it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I mean, I am under the impression that boxing is mostly rigged anyway.
Yeah.
So this would kind of go along with that.
Sounds like maybe college football is really rigged as well. So who knows?
There are a lot of things that are
Slowly but
rigged.
surely,
Serbian
yeah.
horse racing, I think, is personally
Right.
maybe rigged a little bit.
Kayla, you thought we were
Just
ending
kidding.
this pod soon, but I
Straight
got
from the
another
horse's
30 on
mouth
Serbian
here.
racing
Wow,
with
that's
my guy.
crazy.
We can get to that on next week's show. Guys, that's going to close it out for us here on the Denver Sports Podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We got a Leeds game popping at the bar right
Oh
now
my
that we
gosh.
got to turn the sound on for.
Sydney Sweeney, yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Just had to get that out there.
Didn't get the Sydney Sweeney today. Maybe we'll get to
Maybe
her on
next
next
week.
week's show.
The answer is yes.
Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you next week.
We all city like the mayor.